let's start off with defining exactly what chronic illness means. Then we're going to go into some of my stories with chronic illness and disability, what some of the situations I have faced in the workspace are, as well as how you might be able to again break free from the mindset of chronic illness and disability. We're going to take a look at all that. So let's start off with chronic. So if we break apart the word chronic illness, the first word is chronic. And what I realized was something very interesting is that the phrase chronic illness, chronic meaning persisting for a long time or constantly occurring. If you take these two words and you break them apart, they have a different meaning apart than they do together. So that'll be very interesting to look at. So again, chronic, persisting for a long time or constantly occurring. So if something is chronic, again, we think of it long term, but a lot of the time our minds immediately go to this is not only for a long period of time, but it's never ending, if you will. It's for life as we think about it, or at least that's how I used to think about it. That's how a lot of people think about it. Something that you can't change. And in a lot of ways, that is true. We don't have too much control over our bodies, but we have an incredible control over our mindset, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. So let's think about the word chronic. An illness, a disease or sickness affecting the body or mind. What do you think about when you think about disease? What's the first thing that comes to mind? COVID, chickenpox, maybe another kind of spreadable disease? Are all conditions, medical conditions, spread? Are they all disease? I've always had an issue with the term disease. Maybe that's just me, though. But sickness affecting the body or mind. Not all sicknesses are there to stay, there to last. For example, you might have a cold or a cough like I just did. That does affect the body, but I wouldn't necessarily call it an illness in a sense. And the other thing is, sickness affecting the body or mind, half the battle, as we're going to find, as I've found through a lot of my experiences, half the battle is in the mind. So if we can change our mindset around illness and around chronic, then maybe we can begin to see that it doesn't have to affect, quote unquote, our body or mind long term. Now, one interpretation I'm thinking of is chronic affecting the body for a long time. Now, the experience of chronic illness can affect our mindset for a long period of time, but affect is an interesting word there, right? Because that could mean for betterment or detriment, and a lot of that falls on us. A lot of that falls on our mindset. For example, I could use my experiences like I am, as it has affected me, to motivate me to go ahead and persevere in spite of the chronic illness, despite the condition of the body. Because that's what the body is too. It's a condition. The body itself is a condition of life. It's part of what keeps us alive. We'd like to say that our bodies, as long as our bodies are alive, you would say that we are alive, right? So the body is a very important part of our story, and it's what keeps us alive. And I'm a very spiritual person, so that's another story we can talk about at a later date. But let's think about chronic illness as terms, and let's think about, I want to invite you to think about what chronic illness means to you.